blame, you mad it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some me, should stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some me, should stick it in the bullroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Stacking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the gold. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Me should stick it in the boardroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some me, should stick it in the boardroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern to give you a bunch of updates on the entire EMP ecosystem. As usual, I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hello, hello, hello.
Awesome. Glad to have you. Glad to have everybody. The chat is already popping. So we're going to keep today as short and sweet as possible. A lot of great updates as usual. And again, at the end, we'll take questions. But before we get into that, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Our engagement has been really killing it lately. So please just make sure that you hit that like button and leave us a comment in the chat or in the recording as a actual comment. That will help get our engagement up. And if you do have a question that we either don't get to or while we're presenting, if you have a question, please feel free to type that in the live chat as well. Or you can join Telegram in the voice chat, or you can post in our Discord. We have different channels on our Discord to make sure that we don't miss any questions the community might have. So, all right. Before we get started, LA, any news? I never really let you have a first word, so I usually just jump right in. But before we get started,
it's
anything you
okay.
want to share? Yeah, go ahead.
Not really. There's lots of talk about water heaters in the comments here. I don't know if we want to start on that. Just kidding.
I love it. Yes, lots of shenanigans in the chat today. I love it. Yeah. So,
shout out to the 360 squad. We'll start with that.
all right, good deal. Yes, absolutely. Max staking for the win. We'll talk a lot about that too at the end here. But all right, awesome. Let me go ahead and I'm actually going to share my screen. Bear with me here. Might be having some technical difficulties. Hang on one second. I think we might have to just talk about it. I was going to try to do a screen share. Again, I can never get things going the way I hope to. All right, so we're just going to talk about it. And then I might be able to share it later on if I get this figured out. But anyway, BattleBets. We're going to start with that. BattleBets is this new third-party game that we have partnered with. Again, some great devs that we've had a relationship with. They're killer. We love them. And so we've had a great start to this. And one of the, for those that don't know, again, we had a whole AMA on this previously with the screen share. Again, I don't know why I can't get things going. LA, I might have you text Stephanie for me and tell her that we're having technical difficulties. I meant to reset our
Okay.
router. So, all right, thanks, LA. But yeah, so BattleBets is an amazing protocol. It's where you're able to actually bet on the outcome of a AI-generated fight. Just like Street Fighter or the old Tekken days, of arcade games, rather than you're battling your buddy, it's actually AI generated characters and AI generated players. So, the matchups are pretty hilarious. I know earlier today I saw Wolverine versus Homer Simpson. And a lot of the community has been really excited for it. Um, but there is a bit of an issue with matchmaking. So, if you are playing alone, the way the betting works is that, you could potentially win, but still lose, um, a small amount in fees. So we actually now have a matchmaking bot set up where I am able to, or where the unit is able to actually bet the opposite side on whatever bet. So right now it's based on like random. In other words, we're trying to get it to pick the opposite side of whatever you bet, but that's a little more complicated. So right now, just in the short term, we're setting it up to where the house will actually bet one spark on one of the characters at random, and then you're able to see that before you place your bet. So that allows you, again, to, if you wish, to take the other side of the bet, or just wait until the next round if that is not the character that you want to bet on. So it's a great short-term solution. We're continuing to build out with, obviously BattleBets. We're actually not the dev team behind it, but we work with them directly. And I think I may have it sorted out. Bear with me, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties today, because it's a lot easier to show. So hang on one more minute. All right, yep, I think I got it figured out. One more moment here. All right, perfect. So, and just in time for a bet. So, oh, and I also, there's some other updates. You can see on the left right here, it'll start giving you stats. So you can see the win rate of different opponents or characters and what they have done in the past, as well as some info on the different tiers that they're in and total matches. That is really helpful, again, if you just want to play the odds. But remember, upsets happen, and you can potentially make more picking the underdog, um, and actually winning. So you'll see that on the left as we wait. We also extended the timer, so it's a 2-minute timer instead of a 1-minute timer, and that helps again give you a little bit more time to do whatever it is, or make a decision and get your transaction in. And then you can also see in the chat that it will tell you who the house is betting on. So again, right here at the bottom, it says house is betting on Man of Benevolent Star. So that is again a way to know where the bet is. And if you wanted to take the opposite side of the bet, you're not going to lose anything to fees. So just again, be mindful of that. I know a lot of community members have been putting together gaming nights as well, and we will also be co-sponsoring a lot of those with additional prizes. So, if you win, you win the most matches within, an hour period of that gaming night, we'll give some extra spark as a bonus. So make sure you join the BattleBets Telegram. Again, we're working with them hand in hand, but it is not our product. We have a lot more things going on right now that they're going to handle, any further development and the community management as well. So all right, I think that's it in a nutshell. LA, anything else on this I forgot to mention? Sorry, it was a bit distracting getting everything going.
No, I think you hit it all. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
just watching you go.
All right, awesome. Well, and again, the other cool part is having the house bet on different matches. Not only is it a way to ensure the matchmaking, but the house has been getting really lucky too, where even if the house wins, that spark that gets added to the burn pool. So and we are, again, just to clarify, 2% of the overall um, betting volume is actually sent to our treasury, and then we will do a manual burn. So rather than burning, point 0.1 spark at a time, and wasting all the gas, we're sending it to the treasury first, and then we'll burn it, in different events. But right now we've been doing again about, I think, 30 to 50 spark a day. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but the more that we, get the word out and people like playing it, the more we can do in volume. So, all right, I think that covers all the bases. So, again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask as well. We'll get to it at the end. But all right, LA, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my screen again if there's anything you want to add in the meantime. So go ahead.
In regards to BattleBets, like AJ said, a lot of our VIPs have been getting together little groups to play. But if you want to be an organizer and get a group together, just post in one of our groups and put a time on there and see who you can get together to go play.
Perfect. Yep, absolutely. And again, the larger events, we will definitely add to some of the leaderboard rewards. Just get with us and coordinate. And one last thing too about that was again, there are always going to be more additions, not only in characters but also in features. So just make sure you're following the BattleBets Telegram. You can find it right on the website and that'll help everybody keep in the loop. So, all right, I think that was it. All right, so moving on to Sparkswap. Again, no real updates with L1 Dex or EMP. We're moving through the code bit by bit. Stuff is definitely getting done, especially on the L1 Dex side. We made some more headway even today. Again, it never fails. It's like right before this AMA, we get updates. So there was a pretty bullish AMA last night on L1 Dex. I'm sorry, on L1X, and L1 Dex plays into that. So we made a lot more headway today in terms of code as well. So all right, so Sparkswap. Again, the chart is looking incredibly consistent. I'm blown away at this sideways movement. And I know even today we had some large buys, people, getting ready for either the bridge or to stake, in Sparkler. So, there is a lot of Spark in circulation right now, and so just keep an eye on it. If you do see a dip, it might be a great opportunity to DCA, but that's already happening. I mean, a lot of whales have been loading up, as there are dips, and there's just been an amazing, consistent sideways movement, which is bullish and unheard of for a reward token like Spark. Um, and remember, that isn't going to last forever, meaning, eventually there will be a lot more buying pressure on Spark. We move away from emissions. So right now is the opportunity to accumulate Spark. Again, not financial advice, and set yourself up for the future. And again, it's very healthy to take profit. We never ever sell shame here. Even in EMP, we got a lot of shit where people said we were sell shaming, but it's not about selling, it's about how you take profit. And again, I think people misconstrue that as sell shaming. But it's really important not only for the protocol, but for you as a passive income earner, to take profit in a very responsible way. And doing that through Sparkler um, is really the secret sauce. So we're getting closer and closer every day to the bridge. Again, I know we don't want to become the coming soon devs, but the bridge is a serious undertaking, and we just need to squash all the potential bugs. Everything's been really functioning amazingly well. But again, we talk about it all the time. Um, Bridges can be a very vulnerable attack vector, and that's why L1 Dex is so revolutionary, because it's getting rid of bridges. But until we're fully interoperable with L1 Dex, we have to do it the old-fashioned way. And so we're just running through, test after test after test to make sure that we are bulletproof. And everything has been working great. We had a few minor issues this morning on um, changing RPCs. Again, the RPCs have been really crazy on both, really everywhere today, but on Pulse especially. So we think we have a fix for that, and that will help you seamlessly, just like with Rabby wallet, where you're able to switch between the Pulse chain network and the BNB network when you're bridging without crashing the website. So we moved through that today, and now it's just again the very simple UI adjustments, and then we should be ready. So just keep an eye out. It will be a stealth launch, so I'm not gonna give a date, even if I knew when it was gonna launch, because we just want people that are the most engaged to be able to use it first. And really it helps us scale into the volume that we think the bridge will have. But we've been having some amazing talks with other potential partner protocols that want to use the bridge. I mean, I think we're going to see a ton of volume go through this bridge as soon as we're ready to roll. So I appreciate everybody being patient, but it is a process, and we also want to be utilizing the arbitrage bots. So we have an amazing setup to do cross-chain arbitrage through WebSockets. Again, for those of you that know about code, you'll know, but that's really really cool feature that we've been able to use and keep it super safe as well. So everything is there. Again, code wise, we're moving through it. It's just day by day. But all right, anything you want to add to that, LA?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a really good breakdown. Just to add, we are getting on the phone, like all of us together every single day, at the same time every day. So AJ and I are every day, making sure and staying completely on top of making sure the very most progress happens every single day so that we can get this out as quick as possible. We were reminded today when we were giving those nudges that this is by far the most I don't know exactly how it was worded, AJ, but like this is the product we've put out that has to have security checked the most out of anything we've ever released,
Totally.
because bridges are the highest attack vector in crypto. So this is something that like we can't just rush to throw out there because everyone wants it. So when we were nudging today, we were reminded of that. But
Yes.
yeah, but we are meeting every single day to make sure that the progress doesn't slow down at all and we get this out as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, no, great points, LA. And yeah, I mean, that's the amazing part of our team, is that, LA and I are the super, optimistic team leads, trying to get everybody hyped and trying to, get the word out and be great communicators. But then we also have the very conservative side of the teams, and devs alone, are super analytical. Our lead dev, Chad Dev or Jake, for those of you that know him, but he's again the best in the business, and even bringing on other developers that we know and trust to help us move even faster. We still have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. So again, nothing is alarming. The base code that we used has been battle tested. We did have to upgrade that code to be even more consistent with the volume that we're expecting. So again, it's just even more battle testing before we're ready to roll. And again, I mean, we feel like we're more than prepared. It's just the devs have to dev, so we leave them to that, and we continue to keep you all in the loop as it gets closer and closer. So, and really, this is going to be once the bridge is out, we'll see a lot more things moving, like in a lot faster succession. So, we also, again, this is some alpha. It wouldn't be an AMA without some alpha, but after the bridge, immediately, and the first pool as well, I mentioned this on the other AMA, is going to be EMP ETH on Pulse. That will be the first actual farm that is our own LP. So once that farm is released, then that is when we officially announce or officially become our own deck. So that will be the first pair that is not on Pulse X, and it's part of our own DEX infrastructure. And then we'll have a few more added shortly after. Again, I know a lot of you want eShare. That will be coming. There'll be a few more in between EMP and eShare that will allow for some major arbitrage opportunities. And again, everything that we add is with revenue in mind. So just remember, APRs will fluctuate, dilution and may happen, and different, emission rewards will be routed. But at the end of the day, it means even more buying pressure on Spark and even more rewards in Sparkler. So that's why it's really important that you have a position inside of Sparkler, to continue to earn, even if the actual APRs on those other pools and farms go down. So, all right, I think that really covered everything. LA, anything else before we bring on a special guest, or anything in the Q&A you want to add for Spark before we get to that?
Let's bring him on and then we'll do kind of a larger Q&A at the end. Does
All
that
right.
sound good?
Yeah, perfect. So, all right.
Awesome. Here he is. Welcome, Aaron.
Aaron, what's up, brother? Are you there?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Morning,
Good,
or
man.
actually, good
Yeah.
evening for you.
Yeah, bro, that's what I say. Good. On all the AMAs, we say
Awesome.
good night, good day, because we don't know where everybody is in the world. So yeah, man, I know it's morning for you, night for us, but yeah, bro, I wanted to bring you on. We did a full deep dive
Totally.
into your NFT project on the last AMA. Again, for anybody that missed that, please watch the last AMA. Towards the end, we did a full breakdown. But Aaron, I guess just give a quick, maybe just a really quick overview, and then I think you have some a major announcement to add too. So go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah! The last Monday's AMA went really great, and that was awesome to give the whole overview. And I actually just posted the link in the Oregon Money chat, and the LA's got the sales link, and we're all set to go.
Let's go, brother. Perfect. So,
Let's do it.
all right, man. We are live. So, again, just to recap, Oregon Money is releasing an NFT series. All the proceeds from the NFT series will be put into Sparkler, and then those rewards from Sparkler without ever selling Spark will not only reward NFT holders, but also eventually reward um, organ holders as well through supporting the price of the token. So yeah, and the mint's pretty limited, right, Aaron? I think it's only $10,000 of PLS total, right? So if you want one, you got to jump on it. Oh, I think we
Yeah, that's
lost.
right. We only got exactly 60
Oh,
You're cut out a bit.
yeah, Aaron's cutting in and out. Uh-oh.
Sorry, terrible Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now, AJ?
Yep, go ahead, bro. You're good.
Yeah, cool. Well, awesome. Yeah, so we only got 60 NFTs, super limited, super rare, just for exclusively for EMP, Sparkswap, me and Will's community. We're starting pretty low key with this one. So 60 NFTs, 3 tiers. Tier 1, 300, tier 2, 200, and tier 3 is just $100. And with our tier 1, we got these really sick Oregon Money basketball jerseys that I'm gonna ship all over the world. So that's kind of like we're really stoked about getting these basketball jerseys. That's the highlight for me.
Awesome, brother. No, hell yeah. I know you have the basketball jersey fashion, man. All your jerseys are what do the kids say? On fleek, I guess. So yeah, bro. All right, well, awesome, man. I appreciate you, and I think that it's gonna be a killer little boost, not only for your community, but for ours as well. And again, you've been a long time supporter, so I'm happy to showcase that project. And yeah, man, the link, like Ella said, is posted now. Make sure that you go and take a look and get them while you can. So, all right, thanks, Aaron. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks a lot, AJ. Yeah, soon as the sale's done, all this pulse is going straight into Sparkswap. So let's do it.
All right, brother.
See you guys.
There you go. Perfect. That's bullish as hell. So awesome. All right, good deal. Well, there you go. And yeah, if you guys missed any of that info, again, we'll post their own Telegram to Oregon Money. They have their own Telegram. They can answer any questions for you as well. But all right, LA, any other updates before we get into Q&A?
Update wise, no, but there's definitely some questions waiting for us.
All right, awesome. I love it. So, yep, like I said, today was going to be pretty short and sweet. The major alpha was that we're moving through all the code, and that we, again, as early as the next week, will be becoming our own legitimate DEX with our own LPs. So that's really exciting and bullish for October for sure. But all right, yep, let's jump into Q&A. Go ahead, LA.
Okay, so this first one was actually posted in our VIP group, and I noticed you had responded saying that would be great to discuss on the AMA, so I saved this one.
Perfect.
So it says, can someone explain in layman's terms the emissions? Still trying to get my head around it. Using Fusion as an example, $100 revenue goes into the top. 10 holders hold 10 EMP each, so all have equal 10% share, meaning they earn $10 each in energy. Is there a max amount of energy that can be emitted each day? AJ mentioned for Sparkswap, there are only X amount of rewards per block. How does this work and impact the whole thing?
Yeah, so I remember reading this in the VIP. It was a lot to explain, so I love it. It's a great question, and I think it was much easier to explain live than through text. But and again, this is specifically uh, I mean, it applies to Sparkswap, but it also applies to Fusion. So I think the overall question was more in regards to Fusion, right, LA?
I think we can explain it for both because both are slightly different.
Yeah, totally. So, all right, let me break down Fusion first, because it's a little bit more complex And then, again, we can apply it to Sparkler as well. But yeah, the idea is that in Fusion, um, there are two ways that you're able to actually earn what we call energy. And energy is the uh, quote unquote wrapped version, or the version of eShare that is actually inside of Fusion. So eShare can be sold, on the market just like any other token, but energy is what is the, actual currency within Fusion. So with that being said, we have to start with the farm. So what happens right now is in EMP, there is a certain emission every day. I believe it's about 60, 60 e-share a day that are emitted to the farms as a reward, just like Spark is emitted to all the farms and pools as a reward. And that is our share token. Again, that's why we call it eShare. And that again, that will still happen within Fusion. So that will be the actual base rate of what you're earning. And again, as eShare recovers in price, we hope that that shoots the APR even higher. And again, EMP going up in price gives you the exposure to, that going up too. So there's a ton of variables here, but trying to explain it as simply as possible. You earn through Fusion in two ways. One way is, through again this daily energy that you're earning, and that is solely based on the size of your microgrid. So, instead of having EMP ETH LP that determines the amount of e-share you get, the amount of EMP that you have staked into the protocol, that determines your energy share. So, again, and we'll have all this is in the preliminary white paper, but or light paper, but we'll do an even deeper dive in the actual white paper. And Ella and I were talking about that last week. We are gonna do an updated version. We have a lot more info now before sacrifice, but that alone is bullish. Even if that's where we stopped, that would be really powerful because again, it allows you to essentially single stake EMP to earn part of the rewards. Um, but it also, again, is much healthier for the protocol because you're not actually able to just redeem your energy and then dump it on the market like you would be now selling eShare every day. Instead, you have to go through a battery, and it really, it throttles the amount of selling pressure on the market. So that's super bullish for everything. It locks up a ton of EMP. It reduces the circulating supply. We did some preliminary numbers. We think, at least 50 to 75% of the supply of EMP will be gone in the first day of sacrifice. Um, so that's super bullish. And then the other thing is the revenue streams. And again, this is why we did Sparkswap and all the other revenue streams we're setting up. That also plays into the yield that you get within your within EMP Fusion and by owning your microgrid. So again, just for what you put here is pretty good. Again, in terms of just round numbers, yeah, if we were generating $100 of revenue, on top of all the e-share emissions, then that again would be converted into e-share, which is bullish for again that buying pressure on e-share or energy. Again, e-share and energy are the same thing. And then that is then rewarded to all of you based on your ownership of the protocol. So you could see really quickly, if we're generating $100,000 a day in revenue, all of that is distributed to all the microgrid holders, and the APR could go through the roof. So again, almost exactly like Sparkler, where a portion of the fees are given to everybody based on their share of the protocol. So that's why we say, EMP Fusion is essentially Sparkler on steroids, because there is a lot more happening and a lot more, a lot more things at play. And really, I think that the APR could potentially even be higher in Fusion, which is exciting. But yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot to take in, and that's how I wanted to explain it on voice. I hope I didn't confuse people further. But it's a mixture of the emissions and the real revenue that the protocol generates. So, LA, again, I don't know if I confuse people more, but you want to maybe add to that or simplify?
I think you killed it, but if I had to simplify, I would just say there's a set amount in regards to fusion, there's a set amount of emissions per day, and depending on how big of a piece of the pie you own, you'll get a certain portion of those emissions. And on top of that, we have external revenue flowing into fusion and the EMP ecosystem, in which we'll also be dispersing to those who are staked in the central grid. And that will also be dependent on your pool share percentage as well in regards to how much of those you receive.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, and one more point too I wanted to make, which I still think people are sleeping on, even some of our diehards. I think a lot of people just haven't done the math. But remember, eShare, yes, eShare is inflationary at the moment, just like Spark. We've seen it over the last 2 years. But you have to understand the circulating or the supply of eShare is going to get really small um, over time, meaning we implore what is the halving model, just like Bitcoin, where every year, again, it already started when we did our migration, so I think we're probably about 7 or 8 months in to the first year. But after that first year, the emissions on eShare are cut in half. So and then every additional year rather than the Bitcoin cycle, it's every year the emissions are cut in half. So even like 10 years from now, there will be less than 100,000 total eShare in circulation. And as we start burning eShare, again, a portion of the fee is generated in Fusion through the marketplace and even some of the revenue that will not only put buying pressure on eShare, but it will also burn some eShare. And when you have a combination of burning, buying and burning, that is really powerful for the economics. Burning a token outright, yes, it has a positive effect, but it's more of a delayed effect. But if you're buying that token and then burning it, that is like massive for again, the upside potential of eShare. So I think, once people finally start seeing that in motion, um, I think it's going to be really bullish. Again, and once we're at PEG, then a lot of the economic, momentum, we don't have to be allocating that to PEG recovery. We give, once we're at PEG, literally all of the revenue goes to supporting eShare and rewards again through this revenue share of Fusion. So we've run a ton of different scenarios, and every scenario is an amazing outcome. So again, not financial advice. Obviously there's variables involved with all of that, but I think that we're setting ourselves up for some incredible success with Fusion specifically.
Yeah, AJ and I talk sometimes on the phone, and we get into these places where we're just like, oh my God, like we've only hit the first step of all of these things we've been building for all these months. And we're like, oh my God, like it's like everything we've been building is about to come true. And it's most likely going to surpass all of our expectations because this, and this is lined up. And we just have these like really bullish chats about everything that's coming. And I just love it.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. We share that excitement and yeah, we feed off each other with that. And again, I think a lot of the community that is more involved, they have that same sort of energy too.
For sure. Okay, let's go through the Discord and then I'm gonna go through the YouTube.
All right, yep, I
Uh,
see a lot of good questions on YouTube already. So yeah, just keep them coming, everybody. So yeah, go ahead.
okay, so this is kind of a two-prong question because the same person kind of asked in two different ways. So, why did you or we choose to do EMP ETH LP farm when we open it on Sparkswap as opposed to EMP PLS?
Yep, so that's a great question, and we touched on it a little bit when we dropped the alpha in the last AMA, but the simple answer is arbitrage. So the reason that we picked EMP ETH LP on Pulse is because that is the same LP pair on the BNB side. So by having it be the exact same pairing, and we're able to track again the value of those LPs comparing apples to apples, that makes the math way easier and allows the code to be a lot more efficient. And it really helps without any kind of potential swings, and converting, and then you have to rely on different price oracles. It makes things a lot more complicated having it be anything else. So, but with that, I mean, we can definitely do. This is just the initial farm. Um, as we continue to move into, becoming our own full-fledged decks, then yeah, I would say we would definitely have other, Spark pairings that then allow us to even arbitrage with Spark alone. So in other words, if we had a Spark USDC pairing and a Spark ETH pairing, and then an EMP ETH pairing, like we're able to arb between all the different assets and all the different tokens. So and maybe even a Spark EMP pairing. So it just boils down to volume. So and the way that the routing happens. So and we do have to be careful because the more farms we add, the more diluted everything gets as well in terms of emissions or rewards of Spark. But the short answer is simply because it's the easiest way to arbitrage. And we will definitely consider adding other pairings as we go forward.
There's one more thing I'd love you to add to that answer,
For
and you said
sure.
it to me the other day when we were on the phone, and like it got me really excited. Um, the difference between how our arbitrage bot operates in comparison to almost all the other bots out there and why it's so bullish for our ecosystem.
Yeah, no doubt. So a couple of things. We are able to whitelist the fees that the bot is able to use in the swap, and that again essentially guarantees that um we're winning because arbitrage is it's a very low margin game, and a lot of times you fight for this arbitrage opportunity, and the gas alone outweighs any potential profit. But if you can guarantee that you have an advantage by whitelisting the fees, that's amazing. And it's literally a money printer. And when I say money printer, that means that it's not going to an outside source because a lot of these professional arbitrage bots, again, the big one is the Jared from Subway bot on ETH. I mean, they were doing like literally $1 million a day in arbitrage, and so that is extracting value from protocols. Just like I know a lot of you, if you have your slippage settings wrong, you get front run. And you could potentially be buying a token for way more because a bot jumps in and buys it before you do. It's that same sort of concept where, yeah, not only are you getting screwed, but that it's removing value from the protocol. Well, by whitelisting our own ARB bots, that is again just generating revenue without anybody else losing. Um, it's just based on volume, and it stays within our ecosystem. So we're all rewarded through Sparkler from those arbitrage opportunities. So again, it's just a much better situation. Is that what you wanted me to elaborate on, LA, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, no, the whole fact that not only are we using it to keep the parity, which everyone already knew, but the fact that, most people create bots to line their own pockets, and they all annoy us because when we try to, we see it the most often when we try to buy or sell eShare.
Totally.
And, like, people are complaining about it all the time, and it's not like those people are running those bots for any reason other than to line their own pockets. But what got me so jacked up is, this is like a knight in shining armor bot, because it's going to to support the ecosystem and the participants as another source of revenue. So that's so bullish.
Yep, I love it. Absolutely, LA. And again, the more volume that we generate, the more those arbitrage bots can make. So it actually benefits all of you, to share Sparkswap and use it, for all the routing that you would want to do. Again, I know right now it's a little limited because we're not functioning as an actual DEX, but eventually, we want to have support on all the major LPs that you can get through Spark or through Pulse X on Sparkswap. So, and then again, if we're doing millions of dollars a day in volume, that could potentially be again tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees over the long run. So yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. And as a community, we don't really give referral bonuses, but as a community, you'll want to be promoting Sparkswap because you're earning more as part owner of the protocol, through Sparkler. So again, it's just there's so many win-wins for everybody. It's amazing.
For sure. All right, here's another one for you. Daytona Finance has added V2 liquidity farms. Could the non-hypothecated farms on Sparkswap be switched to V2 LP so users could earn trading fees?
Yeah, another good question. That is not part of our roadmap. So, V2, yes, you're earning fees, but now you're not earning ink rewards because, again, you're not getting the rehypothecation that we're able to do. And we really, once we move to our own LP, again, functioning as an actual DEX, the swap fees, because again, there's a built-in swap fee on any DEX or swap. Again, I think PulseX is 0.03% or 0.3% on the swaps. Whatever that is, we're going to mimic the same exact fee that PulseX has, and all the users will receive rewards. Now, they're not going to receive rewards from providing that LP, but they receive rewards in the fact that they're earning that swap fee because we give the swap fee back to Sparkler. Again,
Yeah,
we're not lining our pockets, with dev fees. Yes, there is a dev fee that we have to do development and keep the lights on, but the vast majority of the fees go right into Sparkler. So yeah, does that make sense, LA? I don't know if I explained that
yes.
right.
No,
Okay,
I
yeah,
smiled when I read the question, because users are earning from all of the protocol fees, and as we continue building into the full iteration of everything we've been telling you that's coming, there's going to be more and more things to earn those fees from
for
while
sure.
being staked in Sparkler. And there's a reason why we've continued to emphasize being in Sparkler, being in Sparkler, being in Sparkler, because the bridge is coming, the swap is coming, all of these things are coming where you're going to be able to earn from all of those fees. This arbitrage bot, the swap, the bridge, the farms, the pools, all of it. I mean, it's all designed to reward the users who are staked in Sparkler. So it's really exciting when you really think about it.
Totally. I love it. Yep.
Okay, So I'm assuming you don't want to answer questions about hot water heaters, so we're going to move
Yeah.
through those ones.
Yes.
Unless you have a specialty on that and you'd like to share some wisdom.
I don't know, but I do know that I love to take a hot shower. So any water heater issues, I'm the first to complain about. So yeah, I don't know.
Side note though, this year I did learn how to empty and refill my hot water heater, so I guess I have a little specialty.
You do. You know more than I do, LA. I've never had to do that. So I think we have an instant hot water or tankless, I guess they call it. So, but yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's see what's next. 3650 squad. We got lots of that. Um, okay. Sorry, I'm just scrolling to find all these questions. Did you see any more questions?
I did. I saw a few. Let me go back. Maybe one or two that was pretty good.
For some reason, I'm missing them.
Yeah, bear with me. Let me look through
Oh,
here.
how do I become a VIP? So we hold submissions every few months, and basically during that submission process, there will be some questions to answer, and you'll submit your wallet and that kind of thing. That being said, one way that you can ensure that you stand out, because obviously you've seen that VIPs get incredible treatment within the EMP ecosystem. Moving forwards, because we are moving into EMP Fusion, in the past we have done a lot of wallet checking and whatnot because we've always encouraged our VIPs not to sell EMP and that kind of thing. Moving forwards into EMP Fusion, where that's not really the model as much because it's a single staking locked EMP pool. There's going to be a lot of other things that are going to stand out to us that we're going to really be paying attention. And if you're interested in becoming a VIP between now and the next time we're holding submissions, which we haven't announced that yet, we don't have a date for that yet. There's certain things that you could be doing. So what we're going to be looking for, and moving forwards, we are going to be a lot more selective and not be looking to take on large numbers of VIPs all at the same time, because it is meant to be a small, close-knit group of the most positive, uplifting, helpful members of the community. So if you do want to stand out as someone that we just have to pick as a VIP, what my best suggestion would be between now and then to be someone who stands out, who always shows up really positively in the community, who takes the time to educate themselves, who shows up to these AMAs whenever they can, who does their part to try and help other people if they have answers to questions that they're asking, or just to support them or give them, a uplifting, positive, high five whenever you can, or be a positive member of the community who shows up a lot. Share our social media posts, invest in your investment and just be a positive force in the community. The people that are currently in our VIPs are all examples of that. And that's what we want to uphold moving forwards. That being said, I am going to be rolling out kind of an extension of the VIP program that may help a few people get a shortcut into it. That's not something that's been announced yet or even fully formulated yet. So keep an ear out for that as we move forward. After we launch the bridge, we'll have a little bit more time to kind of solidify that and work on it. But hopefully that in that rambling, you figured out the answer to your question.
Yeah, no, I think that was great, LA. Again, we're working through all that. We are still doing all the on-chain analysis as well. On people that are taking profit. the right way and not dumping eShare or EMP or Spark. There are a lot of requirements for VIP. But again, yeah, like Ella said, we're probably overdue to open it up again. But the number one way is to show that you are really putting forth the initiative. And again, we're always looking. So even if the official like VIP call, so to speak, for new participants isn't open, you can get fast tracked as long as you're going above and beyond, for the community. And that's really that was the whole mentality behind VIP. A lot of other people, require you to hold a certain amount of token, so it becomes more of a monetary incentive. And yes, we definitely have stipulations on, again, how you're taking profit or selling and hurting peg. Um, but really, we didn't want to have a financial barrier for VIP. So that's why we really focus on more performance-based, admittance into VIP, and that will be part of the, structure moving forward as well. And VIP, like my goal with VIP is that we already have, I think, but my goal is to continue to make that, like the most coveted inner circle in all of crypto. Like we get early access to
Yes.
opportunities. We the sky is the limit. We talk about you get one-on-one access to me and all the crypto knowledge that we've amassed as a team. All of our contacts, all of our again early access opportunities. It's really a mastermind. And that's really what we're trying to move towards for sure.
And I just want to say this, like, um, it, inside the VIP program, some people are whales, and some people are just have just begun their crypto journey not that long ago, and everything in between. And part of the reason why we wanted to do it the way we did and have it more attitude and action based is because we wanted to just show everyone that, we're going to treat you the exact same way. It doesn't matter the size of your wallet. We want to see how you're going to show up in the community, and both inside the VIP chat and in the community in a larger scale. Because I really think that that's important. That we treat everyone the same. We expect the exact same from everyone, because entitlement can be dangerous sometimes. And if you have a bar that needs to be met, attitude, positivity, and action wise, there's set there's set expectations, and you create a really positive environment to be in. And I think we really have.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. And one last thing, I know we're talking a lot about VIP, but it really fits in our ethos here. We not only do we add VIPs based on performance, but it's also a bit of a warning shot to some of the other VIPs that maybe haven't been as involved. And like LA said, it's not a matter of trying to amass a giant group of supporters in VIP. If anything, we're going to reduce the amount of people that are in VIP. So again, we want it to be the best of the best. And if you're in VIP now, make sure that you're putting in your brick, so to speak, and putting in the effort, especially right now we're in the building phase. But once things finally start really popping off, and we're in a bull run, and we're 2, 3, 4xing the amount of community that we have right now, that is when, again, we need everybody to step up and all hands on deck, to help welcome all the new users, all the new participants, all the new questions. So yeah, and again, we're not asking anybody to work for free. It is a community effort, and you're rewarded, in these opportunities that you get inside of VIP. So there's a lot more things that you're rewarded with other than collecting a paycheck. So that's all part of, our ethos. So, all right, I think we covered all that, LA. Anything else?
Yes. A whole bunch more comments just all of a sudden loaded for me, so I see the other questions now.
All right, good deal. I have two, and then while I'm answering those, maybe you go back through for me, LA. But the one bullish comment is that, and I didn't even realize this till just now, but we have a new all-time high in the amount of Spark inside of Sparkler. So it's at
Ooh.
44, yeah, 44% of the circulating supply is now inside of Sparkler, up from I think 42 or 41 from last week. And we almost have more Spark inside Sparkler than we do in the LP on the one side of the
Wow.
LP. So that's really, really bullish. And again, it shows that people are willing to lock up their Spark, and get a percentage of the rewards for doing so. All right. And then another really good question I saw was, what does it mean when you say eShare liquidity will be project-owned liquidity? Does it mean we can't sell eShare? So, yeah, this is an amazing question. So, project-owned liquidity, or really it's called protocol-owned liquidity, or POL. That is really powerful, and what it is liquidity that cannot be removed. So right now, our amazingly deep liquidity. Again, let's just use Spark for an example. We have a really an amazing amount of liquidity. However, it's all provided by other users, again, through that Spark PLS farm. So at any time, you can remove that LP, and that reduces the potential liquidity on Spark. So again, it's also referred to as mercenary liquidity, or again, liquidity that can be moved at any time. So, I mean, we have a very strong community, and we have a lot of people that are here for the long run. So it's less of an issue for us, but there is still, the potential that people would all remove their liquidity, and now, price impact is a lot higher because the lower the liquidity, the less you can buy and sell at a time. So there's a lot of negative aspects as liquidity goes down. But by having protocol owned liquidity, that means that the protocol owns the liquidity, and that is guaranteed liquidity. Another word would be locked liquidity. But typically with locked liquidity, you burn that LP. And we don't really want to do that because, it's essentially getting rid of all the tokens. And we've established trust. The reason that the protocols do that is because it's bullish that, a dev can't just dump on all your heads by saying they have locked the liquidity, but they haven't. So it just gives us a lot more flexibility to manage the liquidity. Again, because there is an argument to be made for too much liquidity, or again, too little liquidity. So as long as it's protocol owned, it's basically a handshake agreement that there will always be liquidity available, and it's a revenue stream for us. So again, the more liquidity that the protocol owns, that is less liquidity that we have to actually reward or incentivize. So I guess revenue stream probably isn't the right word, but by having more liquidity owned, that is less liquidity that we have to pay rewards on. So that is really powerful, for the sustainability of Spark emissions as well. And that applies to Spark, EMP, eShare, L1 Dex is a little different because we don't have a native token, but we'll be having our own protocol-owned liquidity of other assets for L1 Dex. So does that explain LA? Again, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I
So,
over-explain things, but yeah.
no, I think you hit it. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
Those were the two I saw. Was there others?
I saw one more. It says, will Sparkswap be safe from the global reset?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I would say I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. I think if anything, the global reset is really bullish for crypto. I think that if anything is going to survive, the global reset, crypto is at the forefront of that, because that's the whole point, isn't it? Like where, we get away from fiat government issued currency and, move to decentralized trustless finance. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm bullish on us surviving any global resets, for sure. Other than the SEC or the U.S. government literally banning crypto, or World War III, or some other black swan event. I think that everything is here to stay, and I'm as bullish as ever on that moving forward for sure.
Well, I think that's it for tonight.
Right on. Well, again, we were hoping to make it short and sweet, but we still went an hour, so that's
Mhm.
awesome. And I think it was a great conversation today. I like to mixing in these live AMAs that are a little more conversational. I think we
Yeah.
get in this grind of updates, updates, updates. Everybody wants to update, but I think just talking overall like that, like this was also helpful. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
LA, yeah,
did.
go ahead. Anything you want to add? Yep.
Yeah, I did want to just remind everyone that Spritz is now available both in the US and Canada. Spritz is an amazing company that allows you to pay your bills with crypto. They have a debit card that you can load up with your crypto and also off ramp right into your bank account. The Canadian side is only available for off ramping right now. The American has everything that I just listed, but they've just opened up in Canada. And if you're interested in signing up, we do have an EMP affiliate, and it's one of our external revenue streams that flows back to help support the ecosystem. And so that's the second link in the description of this stream.
Amazing. Yeah, and actually, again, I don't know, LA, I didn't even talk to you about this today, but I think right before the AMA, we got an email that they are ramping up their affiliate program. So I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
I
that,
didn't
but
see that. Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
so
see it yet.
that was hey, we're on the same wavelength. LA doesn't even need to see an email to know what to promote. That is the great sign of the head of marketing. So yeah, but yeah, they're rolling out an even more robust affiliate program. So again, make sure you guys are using that link because we could be entitled to even more rewards if we hit certain volume. So again, if you're not using Spritz, I don't know what to tell you. I know a lot of you may not be able to because of where you live, but if you're in America or Canada, there literally is no better option out there. I can guarantee it. So, yeah. All right. Awesome. Again, LA, any final words or any other last minute topics? Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, today. You can't see it, but I have a really big smile on my face. So thanks for being here. We always look forward to connecting with all of you guys.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Again, we say it all the time, but it's 100% true. Yes, we put in the effort as a team, but none of this would be possible without the community. And everybody showing up, week after week, day after day, being patient. Again, I know all of you want this stuff out just as much as we do. I can promise you that. But the fact that we still have uh, support from the majority of the community, while we're continuing to build and test and really, set up the foundation for this next year, with the impending bull run and everything else that really, that support makes it get done faster. So I can promise you that. And again, people, fudders are gonna fud or haters are gonna hate, but we, as a community as a whole, we spread the positivity and we get excited for what the future will bring all of us. And That's been, the mission of EMP and all of our protocols from day one. So, all right, awesome. I think that's it then. We'll wrap it up. Again, we come to you. Well, let me do the housekeeping before I sign off. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, a great turnout today. We've been averaging around 50 live viewers, which is great. So again, make sure we have at least 50 likes, please. Again, comment if there was a question that we didn't get to, or you want further clarification on things, or have a suggestion. Please make sure to type it in the chat, or put it in our Discord under AMA notes or questions. So you guarantee that we answer it on the next AMA. And yeah, other than that, just another week ahead as we go into the weekend, continuing to make progress on the bridge. And we'll have another update again, obviously, on Monday. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And we do have a few more. I guess that's one more quick thing, LA. We have a few more AMAs next week as well, too, right? Or going into the weekend? Okay, yeah.
There's one coming up on Wednesday that I think they'll be very bullish on.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we do have another super bullish one the following weekend that, again, should be equally exciting. So, yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, awesome. So there you go. All right, everybody. Good night. Good day. We'll see you all on Monday. Take care.